are talking about invasion of your privacy, let's talk about something that is happening in Google's case.
What do you say?
Do no wrong, do no harm.
Don't be evil.
So, have you guys know about this autocomplete, right? You go into a Google search, you start typing something, and it immediately starts to put in some information to the end of your sentence or whatever you're typing. Well, there's a guy in Japan who says that Google is basically ruining his life, ruining his reputation. There was a Tokyo district court that is stopping or has ordered Google to stop the autocomplete feature because it is, as this man says, it is an invasion of his privacy. Now let me explain to you what's going on. So this guy's name, right? If you start typing this guy's name in, what happens is a number of crimes are being automatically attached to his name. So if you start typing whatever, I don't know his name, but whatever his name is, it starts to autofill like John Doe burglary in Tokyo or something crazy like that, right? So even though he's never done any of these crimes, people who may be using his name are finding like, dude, did you just murder somebody or did you burglarize this latest bank?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I did that. So he's basically saying, look, Google, man, you got to turn this thing off because I can't get a job. Like, these companies are like looking me up on the internet, and they're not returning my phone calls because John Doe robbed a bank last week in Tokyo. So this is the case. Now Google says, okay, all right, look, we're not going to turn it off. Just so you know, we are a U.S. company, and there's no Japanese law that's going to stop us from using what we're currently doing. But here's the point. This isn't an invasion of privacy. This is the stance that Google's taken. This is not an invasion of privacy because the search terms aren't manually created. There's nobody on the other end that's putting this in. But it's an algorithm that shows that what people are already typing in. These are popular search terms that people are using. And I don't know if you guys have done this, but I did it this morning. I started typing my name in just to see what would show up, right? So I went to Google. I started typing my name in, and I saw the words that came after. And there's no surprises. I mean, there's no criminal act or anything like that. But I find it interesting. It sort of reveals what people think about you or what they're looking for you.
I want to know.
You probably got to go to Google.com directly and then try it. Yeah. What terms are showing up on your side when you do this?
I'm searching for you.
Well, I know what mine does. Mine's like Picasso. The other one was just keep writing. Just keep writing, right? Just keep writing my name. Picasso was one. Blog, NCCU. So you can see the top three. There's nothing there that that would like, oh man, it's crazy. But as you start typing, type NCCU. You'll see what NCCU shows up.
Frequently.
You can see law, SGA, alumni, bookstore. Right? But I think the first two are yours. The things that maybe you have searched in the past.
Entirely possible.
Right? Because you have the remove button next to it. But this is interesting because if you've never done this before, it's kind of cool to see what people are typing a lot.
It could very well be what
behind your name.
Mike typed because he's the one that's logged into Google right
Or Mike, this is things you look for. Either way, that's really interesting. So I wanted to share that with you. What do you guys think? Is this an invasion of privacy on your part?
Gosh, I'm hard pressed to see this as an invasion of privacy per se. Yes, it is an inconvenience. It is even arguably unfair, but from the legal definition of invasion of privacy, that's tough case to make for me. If I were a lawyer, if I were a judge, knowing at least my interpretation of the law, I would say, get out of here. Sorry.
Yeah, and some from the chat room. I see you guys are chiming in. Eagle Went says, I typed in Aaron is, and Google fills in awesome. I'm just saying, right? Go ahead, and you guys are funny, man. Tim Arthur says, well, you see personalized results, which is, no, I understand that. But we're talking about in the drop down of the search bar. This is even before you actually see the results on the page. This is what shows up as you type. And it kind of gives you some recommendations for things that you might finish that sentence with. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. Someone says he is off his rocker. Tim says this guy is off his rocker. Really?
I think the guy that's trying to do this litigation because of the Google algorithm. That's
Right.
Maybe that's a bit of an overreach.
Well, I guess
Office rocker
too. I mean,
I think.
And if these companies are like falling for it, like if they just go to Google search and says John Doe, and all of a sudden that must be you, and they don't even have any real comparison. We say, is this the same John Doe or somebody else? So I mean, maybe you don't want to work for that company if they're not looking beyond
Well,
that.
I think clearly it shows a misunderstanding of the technology and how it works.
Sure, I can see that.
And it also, for me, it suggests a very litigious behavior. If you're gonna put forth a lawsuit over that, chances are that's not the first time you've put out a really a bogus lawsuit.
Yeah.
I'm suing Google.
Tim says it's a money grab. It's a money grab. He's just trying to get some cash real quick. Be quiet. Sit down.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.